Good afternoon, everyone. For August 17, 2026, the Senate President Sherwin Gatchalian opened the session at exactly 10 a.m. on August 17, 2026, with 13 senators present, constituting a quorum for the 16th day of the impeachment trial. For administrative matters, as to the letter of Mr. Lemuel Ortonio, the presiding officer granted the request of Mr. Ortonio through a letter to be excused attending this week as he is taking a licensure examination. On the copies of the acknowledgement receipts submitted by the respondents, in a critical step toward trial efficiency, the presiding officer announced the official results of the Clerk of Court's comparative audit of the acknowledgement receipts, or ARs, marked by both legal panels. The meticulous comparison has successfully narrowed the evidentiary battleground. The clerk identified the massive overlap of 3,616 common ARs, consisting of 2,666 from the Office of the Vice President and 950 from the Department of Education. Remarkably, every single AR submitted by the respondent's counsel matched a counterpart submitted by the prosecution. By establishing this massive baseline of common documents, the impeachment court bypasses hours of redundant authentication debates and drastically accelerates the trial timeline. While the defense perfectly matched a large portion of the evidence, a significant documentary gap remains. The audit revealed that out of the prosecution's 4,492 submitted ARs, 876 receipts have no counterpart from the respondent. This isolation is strategically vital as it precisely defines the boundaries of the documentary dispute. Moving forward, the senator judges can focus their forensic scrutiny specifically on these 876 unmatched documents, while proceeding directly to the substantive cross-examination regarding the 3,616 common receipts. As to the presentation of evidence in chief for Article 1, the testimony of House Prosecution Panel's fifth witness, Marivic Pareja, the House Prosecution Panel's Congressman Lordan Suwan conducted the direct examination of House of Representatives Ms. Marivic Pareja. But to accelerate the proceedings, the court took judicial notice of 11 official House records not previously requested for judicial notice, including OVP position papers and letters explaining their absences from the CGGPA hearings. This procedural masterstroke bypassed hours of redundant authentication testimony. The impeachment court only acknowledged that these documents exist and were officially received. It did not accept the contents of these documents, such as OVP's excuses, as truthful or legally valid. The evidentiary weight of those explanations remain entirely subject to the senator judge's scrutiny. Since the testimony of the witness is not needed anymore due to the court taking judicial notice and the respondent's counsel stipulating on them, the witness was excused at 10:27 a.m. The counsel for the House Prosecution Panel's Attorney Amado Ligutan called on and conducted the direct examination of Ms. Gina Acosta, former Special Disbursing Officer of the Office of the Vice President, as their sixth witness. The counsel for the House Prosecution Panel, Attorney Ligutan, qualified and then moved for the declaration of Ms. Acosta as a hostile witness due to adverse interest based on Rule 132, Section 13 of the 2019 Rules on Evidence. Such a declaration entitled Attorney Ligutan to ask leading questions during a direct examination and on the party calling to impeach his own witness, which are not usually allowed. Due to lack of material time and the inclement weather, the direct examination was cut short and will be continued tomorrow. Following rulings by the presiding officer Escudero on various evidentiary motions and objections by both parties, the trial was adjourned. Pursuant to the rules of procedure on impeachment trials, the impeachment court will resume session on Tuesday, August 18, 2026 at 10 a.m. The agenda is a continuation of the presentation of the House Prosecution Panel's case-in-chief for Article 1 through the continuation of the direct examination of the witness Ms. Gina Acosta, the former Special Disbursing Officer of the Office of the Vice President. Any questions?
About the issue with us as the witnesses use of Bisaya? Was there may concern po ba na sinasabi niya po hindi po siya marunong mag-Tagalog pero in fact marunong po pala siya yun? When at inamin lang niya po yun after a senator judge expressed concern about her request.
Yung pagsasalita po ng ibang lengguwahe o ibang dialekto, nakapaloob po yan doon sa pre-trial order ni request ng House Prosecution Panel kung pwede pong magsalita ng Filipino o kaya naman po Ingles na hindi katulad ng sa ordinaryong korte na English po lamang. Ngayon po, yung naalala nyo, meron din pong mga remarks sa ibang dialect before na nag-oppose po yung Respondents' Council. Pinapayagan naman po yung pagsasalita ng ibang dialect. Kaya lamang po, para po hindi matagal, kailangan pong kung marunong naman siyang sabihin yon sa Ingles o kaya naman po sa Filipino, then yun na lamang po yung gagamitin para hindi na po kinakailangan ng karagdagang pagta-translate. Dahil ang records po ng ating proceeding ay either sa Ingles po o sa Filipino lamang. At hindi po nakararaming nakakaalam ng ibig sabihin po ng mga words kapag ito po ay isinambit sa ibang dialekto. So wala naman pong problema doon. Ang pinaka kailangan lamang po balansehin ng impeachment court ay one, mailabas po sa yung katotohanan doon sa testimonya ng isang testigo. Kaya kung maaaring tulungan siya sa ibang dialekto, gagawin po iyon. Pero yung kung marunong naman po siya, katulad ng sinabi ni Presiding Officer ng Pilipino o Ingles, yun pa rin po yung preference ng testimonya niya. So, tutulungan lamang po siya ng korte pero ang preference pa rin po Ingles at Filipino. Mukha pong ganon kasi po hindi rin handa yung ating clerk of court at saka yung secretariat po na may designated po. Pero sa ordinaryong korte po, ganun po yung nangyayari. Usually po kaming mga abogado, nag-request po kami ng interpreter and the court will appoint an official interpreter para kung ano po yung official na interpretasyon ng interpreter na yun, yun po yung mailalagay sa record.
Attorney, curious lang, bakit po mas pinaaga yung pag-adjourn ng araw?
Ngayong araw po, dahil po, unang-una nag-work suspension na po yung ehekutibo, nag-issue na po yung Office of the President ng work suspension. Pangalawa po, nag-issue na rin po yung Supreme Court ng work suspension at ngayong hapon mula 12 o'clock onwards. So, dahil nandito na rin po tayo, itinuloy na lamang po ng ating impeachment court na magpatuloy ng ilang oras dahil nakaschedule na rin at nandito na rin po tayo. Pero ang pinaka consideration po ay yung work suspension ng dalawang branches of government. So since the legislative is the only branch of government who hasn't called for the work suspension, kaya pinagpaliban na po muna at least na iklian po ng isang oras yung ating impeachment trial for today.
Last na lang sa akin, attorney. Update lang po dun sa ruling ni presiding officer kasi sabi mo po last Friday, dapat ngayong araw siya magro-rule about sa manifestation ng defense. Ano po yung update?
Opo. Meron po na siyang handang ruling dahil nakaschedule nga po na today nga ibibigay yon. Ngunit po hindi po naaayon sa nangyayari sa ating sitwasyon ngayon na maraming kababayan po natin ang stranded, so hindi po nababagay na ngayon po i-release yung ruling ng ating presiding officer. So, kaya bukas na lamang po yun i-release para hindi na rin po mapahaba masyado kasi kung maalala niyo po kanina, bibigyan din po si Attorney Ligutan ng pagkakataon na makapagsabi ng kanyang panig. Kaya baka abutin pa po ng additional 30 minutes po yun. But had the trial not been cut short because of the work suspension and inclement weather, it would have pushed through today. Kaya lamang po yung timing po hindi po bagay at akma sa ngayon.
Attorney, na-consider ba yung sinabi ng prosecution na parang hindi naman merit nung kaso, kundi procedural yung naging statement nila in public o kaya naging post sa social media ni Atty. Ligutan. So parang walang basis para sila warningan o mag-issue nga ng ganong ruling.
Yes po, no? Yung ating presiding officer, very pragmatic naman po yan at napaka-reasonable naman po at alam nyo rin naman po na he's also very liberal in his rulings. Binibigyan niya na as much leeway yung both parties, no, para makapagsalita at makapagsabi ng kanilang mga panig. So yung tanong niyo po kung nakonsidera yun ng ating presiding officer, definitely po kinonsidera yun ng ating presiding officer yung konteksto po at saka yung content nung posting na po yun at saka yung timing din po nung ano na yun. Ang hihintayin lamang po ni presiding officer kung magbabago pa yung kanyang ruling ay yung sagot naman po ni Atty. Ligutan dahil bibigyan pa po siya ng panahon makasagot. Pero kung tatama po at sasakto yung sasabihin ni Atty. Ligutan in open floor sa impeachment court, at yun din po yung inaasahan na isasagot ni Atty. Ligutan ng presiding officer, then his draft will not be changed anymore kasi pareho naman po yung ina-anticipate yan na magiging kasagutan ni Atty. Ligutan.
Pero tuloy pa rin yung monitoring ng clerk of court sa mga public statements, both sides.
Tama po yan. It's a team effort po. Yung clerk of court secretariat po talagang ginagawa po nila yung kanilang tungkulin regarding that matter. Sila po yung nagpa-flag ng mga remarks and comments ng mga panig, no, pati mga counsels outside of the court at sa media. At pati rin po yung staff ng ating presiding officer ginagampanan din po yung kanilang tungkulin.
Covered ba
regarding that
doon
matter.
si BP Sara, sir, doon sa magiging ruling or warning? Kasi yung prosecution, sabi nila, dapat daw kung sino mang dapat i-call out yung attention. Si BP Sara dahil may sinasabi siyang the prosecution is bending the law.
I think the presiding officer has also considered, of course, na nabigay na rin po sa kanya ng branch clerk of court yung mga sinabi na yun ng respondent. So, nakonsidera niya na rin po yan sa kanyang ruling dahil syempre ibibigay niya po yung ruling na yun para sa lahat po ng sakop ng Rule 18, which are the respondent, yung mga parties po, kasama po yung respondent doon, yung respondent's counsel, yung House Prosecution Panel, pati yung counsel for the House Prosecution Panel, pati po yung mga senator judges. So lahat po ng sakop sa Rule 18 ay maaari pong sasabihan ni presiding officer na tumalima doon sa rule na yun.
At attorney, about lang po sa supposed change of schedule na hapon na po, may update po ba? And do we expect when po magisimula na afternoon na po yung session para sa supposedly 1 to sawa na?
Yung yan po ay under consideration pa rin po kasi hindi po sila makakuha ng consensus na ibahin po yung oras. Pero continuous advisement naman po yan sa ating presiding officer at yung mga senator judges. It's a continuous communication between them, no? Kung ano po yung mas nababagay. So siguro hintayin pa rin po natin yung ilang mga araw, no? Siguro with what's happening with the inclement weather, etc., they will be able to factor this in as well in their decision. And pag nagkaroon na sila siguro ng consensus or even a majority of them will decide the afternoon, sasabihin sa atin yan kagad ni presiding officer. And he said he will inform everyone in advance. So kung end of this week po, baka merong pag-iiba, then bibigyan niya tayo ng update regarding that.
So, attorney, ano pong kinalaman ng inclement weather sa change of schedule? Ano po yung, how is it a factor?
Kasi minsan po, umaga o hapon na po nagsasabi na wala na pong pasok. So mostly po, umaga nandito na lahat tayo at nandyan na. So tinutuloy na rin po ng ating Senate President at Presiding Officer yung proceedings for the whole day. Dahil nakapasok na po tayo. So kung para hindi naman masayang yung efforts din ng ating mga employees ng Senado at saka ng impeachment court. So yun po yung isa sa mga factor, no. Ngayon kung hapon po yung hearing at umaga po at medyo lunchtime magbibigay ng work suspension yung executive department and the Senate President, then hindi na po natin kailangan nandito ng maaga at yung ating mga witnesses din po, pati yung mga counsels po ng both parties, hindi na rin po kailangan umattend dahil nalalaman na natin siguro within the morning and the lunchtime yung decision on the matter.
Pero attorney, if in the sense na hindi gumanda ang panahon sa mga susunod na araw, is there an option na baka pwedeng gawing virtually yung proceeding or still hindi pa rin talaga? Kumbaga extraordinary conditions lang yung pwedeng mangyari yung ganun.
Tama po, wala po kasi sa impeachment rules natin yung virtual court hearing, no? Unlike even in ordinary courts, ito ay by exception lamang. I mean, bago ka magkaroon ng video conferencing hearing, kailangan mag-move yung either party and to give reasonable or justifiable reason kung ba't kailangan ng online or virtual hearing. So, kung ganun din yung tatahakin dito ng impeachment court, no, baka kailangan may mag-move at kailangan magpakita ng justifiable reason at magpakita rin ng legal basis kung ba't papayagan ng isang online hearing. Medyo mahirap po kasi dito, no? Sa ordinaryong korte, isang hukom lang ang nandoon, pati yung mga court staff. Pero dito, 24 senator judges yung kailangan naka-online din, no, para mag-constitute ng quorum. Kailangan at least 13 ang naka-online. So medyo madugo-dugo po yan. Plus yung House Prosecution Panel, masyadong marami rin na mga tao sila at pati yung Respondents' Council, marami rin pong tao yun. Even the staff ng ating mga senator judges and the clerk of court po ng impeachment court. So medyo it's a logistical nightmare kung magkakaroon ng virtual hearing for the impeachment court for the meantime po until we find a better solution or better legal basis for that.
Kung violation, kung meron man ng sub judice rule, ang magbababaho ba ng ruling ang presiding officer na lang or kailangan pang mag-meeting ng buong impeachment court or they will leave it to Senator Escudero na?
Tama po. Tama kayo dyan. Base po sa ating Senate impeachment rules, the presiding officer has the full discretion to decide on these matters. He has also the full discretion if he wants not to decide on it and throw the question for the resolution of the body of the senator judges. Pero base po sa previous conduct ng ating presiding officer, he is well equipped and well knowledgeable naman to resolve the matter on his own. And only after, kunwari, may mag-appeal lang na senator judges na to take into a vote to appeal the resolution, then that's the only time na magbobotohan po. So the presiding officer is trying to siguro go to the last resort na lang pag talagang medyo questionable yung mga resolution na mahirap siyang mag-decide lang mag-isa. Last resort niya na ibabato niya sa body para mag-decide yung body.
Hindi ko po alam kung natanong na kanina, sorry. So, likely po tomorrow ang ruling ni Senator Escudero?
Tama po kayo. Nakaschedule po talaga today. Finalize na yung kanyang ruling. Kaya lang, because of the timing, medyo pangit yung timing to release it today kasi sa mga nangyayari po sa labas ng Senado. So he opted na to defer it for the meantime. And also, we have to spend time listening to Attorney Ligutan's explanation. It will also take time for the court staff and then all the Senate employees to hear it and actually digest the explanation. And I think the Senate President and the presiding officer wanted to suspend work for the afternoon. At least at 4 p.m. medyo isususpend na para makauwi na maaga yung mga court staff for their safety as well.
Attorney, susugad ko lang yung issue dun sa hindi paglalabas.
Long time no
today.
see, Dexter.
Yes, sir. May kinalaman po ba ito dun sa mga nagtitrending sa online na may mga naglabas ng pahayag na maging maingat umano ang impeachment presiding officer sa pagbibigay ng kung anumang desisyon sa prosekusyon dahil may mga senator judges din naman na hayagang pumapanig sa isang panig doon sa loob ng impeachment court.
Hindi, yung tanong mo is kung na-impluwensyahan siya ng mga noise sa labas po regarding the matter. No? Kung kilala niyo po yung presiding officer ever since, kahit last year pa po, regarding Fort With, hindi po si presiding officer Escudero na-impluwensyahan ng mga unnecessary noise po na ganyan. Medyo he's very independent person and senator na meron siyang sariling paninindigan. So, kung anong alam niyang tama at merong basihan sa batas, yun po yung gagawin niyang resolusyon doon sa mga issues na kailangan ng kanyang resolution. So, yung pag-suspend po o pag-defer ng kanyang resolution today doesn't have any, walang kinalaman po yung mga sinabi ng mga ibang mga tao po sa labas, no? Dahil alam niya na po, no, yung kanyang papatunguhan doon sa kanyang resolution based on his due diligence at saka complete staff work din ng kanyang mga staff. So, kaya medyo pretty firm naman po yung legal basis noon. At doon po sa mga senator judges na pagtatanong, meron pong Supreme Court decision yung People versus Guambor that allows ang mga judges, ang mga hukom na makapagtanong ng clarificatory questions even to a point na to test the credibility of the testimony and also the witness themselves. So kahit na mukhang nasisira yung isang theory of the case ng isang panig dahil sa pagtatanong ngayon, the Supreme Court has said that that is allowed and should not be considered as being biased against or in favor of one party or the other.
Attorney Las na lang po. For the record lang din po, kasi August 13 yung deadline dun sa iba pang requirements ng bank na pinapasubmit po. Ano na po yung sunod na mangyayari? May date na po ba for the conference, etc.?
Yung sa date ng conference, I think they are already finalizing yung ruling doon sa in-camera inspection nung AMLC report, no? Nakausap ko yung presiding officer regarding that, and they are ready to give the update, no? In open court about those matters kasi medyo ilang linggo na rin naman yung nakalipas dyan, no? So pero dahil maraming mga nangyari in the past few impeachment court proceedings, so mas inuna muna yon ng ating impeachment court at nung secretariat at nung clerk of court.
Wala pa pong nabababa sa either of the parties?
Wala pa po. As between the clerk of court pa lang po si Secretary Bantug at saka si presiding officer yung nagbabalikan regarding that draft. Okay po. Thank you. Be safe. Thank you po.